Here I am again. Here I am, coming to you, the YouTube people. The subscribers who are now part of my family. I'm here again today to talk about your beloved Black Ops Cold War. I'm taking a break. Almost came to the conclusion of uninstallation. I currently possess the Xbox Series S, which is only 512 gigabytes, and I'm about 90% full with capacity. And so I was gonna just decide to let Black Ops Cold War go. But I was able to download another game without having to delete it, so it gets to stay. But I don't know how much I'm gonna play it anymore, to be honest with you. The saying is, you never know what you got until it's gone. And coming up as a young guy, I'm sure many of you have, you come up and you hear that saying, you hear an old head tell you that, and you just kind of ignore it. Usually it's like when you got a good girlfriend or a good boyfriend if you're a female, and everyone tells you, oh yeah, you guys are perfect for each other, but for some reason, y'all don't work out, and then you come to a realization like, man, that person I was dating was actually alright. It was just you. It was you at the moment of the relationship that why it didn't work. And I say all of that because I'm back in that place. When Modern Warfare was the current game out, when Modern Warfare was the only COD game we had to play, I didn't appreciate what was in front of me. I didn't appreciate the more tactical gameplay style. I didn't appreciate the mounting. I didn't appreciate the very difference in guns. I didn't appreciate the introduction of the gunsmith doing it the right way. I didn't appreciate the mounting. Did I already say that? I didn't appreciate the mounting. I didn't appreciate just the overall feel of the game. The way the guns played in the game. I didn't appreciate that. I didn't appreciate Warzone when it first dropped. I didn't appreciate a lot of things about that game. Maps. Then you tell yourself and you tell your friends, I can't wait until the next Call of Duty comes out and I'm gonna spam it. Then the next Call of Duty drops. And you know what happens? Once the initial adrenaline turns off, the original excitement, because it's a new COD game and it's a new game, you're excited to play. Once that wears off, your real feelings come out. The honeymoon stage is over. That's another saying. You're in a honeymoon stage where everything just seems to be perfect. Everything just seems to be right. And once the honeymoon stage ends, you get into the real relationship, and then that's when you start to realize either you're in it or this ain't it. I'm now at the stage where I'm saying this ain't it. The guns in Black Ops don't feel the same. Do I really have to talk about maps? Maps have been trash in the games of Call of Duty for the last 7-8 years, man. They got about a handful of maps on each game that stand out. That's like, alright, it's good, it's time to play on them. But the majority of the time, it's you find yourself in gameplays, in game modes, where you're cycling through the same maps. The reason why you know that their maps suck now is because back in the day, they never even had limited time game modes like they do today. Back in the days of the early stages of Modern Warfare, COD 4, there was no such thing as shipment 24/7. Shipment was just in the game. It popped up on the map just like everything else. Backlot, you know, and maps of that stature just was in the map. Was just there. Same thing with Black Ops. You had Nuketown. You had man, I can't even think of Black Ops maps. And since I'm on that topic, playing these games, you know, as I learn more about myself, as I age, become more wiser, I've also came to the conclusion that I'm an Infinity Ward guy. I don't know if it stemmed off of maybe I'm just a little biased. I don't know if it comes from the fact that when I first started playing Call of Duty multiplayer, seriously, it was COD 4, Modern Warfare, with everything, like that was my main game at that time when it was fresh, all the time, every day, all day, morning, noon, and night type of playing. And then I remember Modern Warfare 2, another Infinity Ward production. And then I remember Modern Warfare 3, another Infinity Ward production. I remember those games more than I remember the Treyarch Activision production games. You know, I played World at War. Can only tell you a handful of things about it. I played Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2, and everybody says those are the greatest games, or some of the greatest CODs ever made. And I can't really relate because I can't even tell you half about Black Ops 1 or 2. Black Ops 3, can't tell you nothing about that. Black Ops 4, it's pretty decent, but I still would take Infinite Warfare over that. So it goes to show that all my COD games that I actually really enjoy in the end are Infinity Ward products. And I think it just comes from, and this is my opinion, that the Infinity Ward games have more of a realistic feel than the Treyarch ones. You know? And Treyarch, like, for instance, the reason why I took a break is because Treyarch has a lot of quick scoping, a lot of sliding, a lot of jumping, a lot of just things where you just ask yourself, make it make sense. Or you ask yourself, how does this make sense? You just want the explanation from somebody who made the game to make it make sense. And I can hear some people right now, well, it's a video game. It's not supposed to be realistic. While others like me thinks that video games are supposed to be simulation of real life events, real life things, you know? And I think Infinity Ward does a very good job on simulating what may happen in the real life army over Treyarch, what they think happens in the army. Like Treyarch's army is a bit ridiculous. So if you think about the things that go on in Treyarch games, like for instance, having a trophy system that protects you multiple times, having flak jacket where you can get hit with a Molotov direct, get C4 twice, get hit with a Simtex stuck to you, and you survive. Treyarch, you know, if I was to go into the army with Treyarch's mindset, I shouldn't die, right? If all I have to do is put on this jacket and it protects me from all the explosives, direct hit RPGs, and all the other things I just mentioned before this statement, then I should never die, right? Okay. What about if I slide and jump? Do you know Army veterans that do that? Okay. Oh, hear about this one. How about this one? I'm in battle. I get shot within a blink of death, and I inject myself, and I'm back to brand new. No stitched up, no nothing, just brand new. Will I survive? Oh, how about this? I put an extra attachment on my gun and it allows me to drop shot or slide faster than normal, than humanly possible. Now, I could go on and on about the things that I dislike about the game, but I'm growing. I'm not gonna get on this mic and rant and rave to you, yell like I've normally done on rants. Just gonna tell you like it is. Infinity Ward makes better products, in my opinion. Infinity Ward gets it, and a lot of us don't appreciate the realness that's in those type of games than it is in Treyarch. And well, for that reason, a lot of us get stuck. And then you start to figure out, but you don't, it's hard to admit the thing that's non-meta. You know what I'm saying? Like, meta-wise, everyone says, oh, Black Ops 2 is the greatest. Black Ops 1 is the greatest. Modern Warfare 2 is the greatest. But a lot of people don't even remember those games. And you would think that that year they brought back Modern Warfare Remastered, COD 4 Remastered, that I was going to spam that. But I couldn't. You want to know why I couldn't? Because the community nowadays is in those games as well. So they can remaster all the games you want. Like you people want, like I know a lot of people on Twitter want Modern Warfare 2 to be remastered. And they want it to be remastered for its nostalgic purposes. Because you remember how times were back then and you're trying to relive them. It's the equivalent to, remember that time, I don't know if you guys remember, but Drake had an interview. Drake was talking about Take Care and how everyone proclaims Take Care to be the greatest album ever that he's ever made, and that, you know, the music he makes now isn't as good as Take Care was. And he stayed a very, very critical, and not critical, but he what's the word I'm looking for? He said a very direct statement that made a whole lot of sense, that if you look at it with an objective mind, you'll understand what he's saying. He said that when I made Take Care, you were going through whatever you was going through at the time Take Care came out, which is why I connected to you so much. He can't help that right now you're not sorry, he can't help that at the time you hearing his new music, you're not going through the same things you once was when Take Care dropped. So it doesn't connect to you the same. The emotion isn't there. And I'm saying that because you need to be careful what you wish for. If Modern Warfare 2 does come back, remastered, plain, just like it was back then, it's not going to be the same, because you're not the same. You don't think the same. You don't move the same. You know, your reflexes may not be the same as they was back then. You have to take that into account. And you also have to take into account that the community isn't the same. We've already experienced certain play styles, because that's what really Call of Duty does every year. They change the way the meta is, and then you start to eventually play to that meta. So then when they remaster something, you're still stuck into the meta of old, so to speak. Just like when new CODs drop. When Modern Warfare dropped, people kind of realized, okay, the footsteps are extremely loud. The game is extremely loud. Let me camp. And then we all complained about so much camping, all the camping that's going on. We're complaining, right? And then Black Ops comes out. We have already adjusted and adapted to the way that Modern Warfare is played. And then Black Ops is fast. Black Ops has ninja. Black Ops game is quieter, not as loud. You can't hear his footsteps as much. And then we complain about the movement system there. It's a way of human life. But this whole commentary is just based off of the fact that I'm taking a COD break from Black Ops. Now, I love Warzone. I think I love Warzone because partially it's a Modern Warfare production. Warzone, in my opinion, saved the Call of Duty franchise as a whole. Saved it. Because of the way that the maps develop, the way that the community develops, the way how the way the game is so broke and how things are so overpowered when you try to integrate new things in, that it's I lost my train of thought. That it's wow, I need some help. Anyway, Warzone is what I like to do. Warzone just kind of fits. Now, Warzone can be annoying too. You know, don't get it wrong. Like, games can be annoying. Games can be annoying. No matter how much you enjoy it, you will have your days when that game pisses you off. But you'll also have days where you love the game. It's regular. So, with that being said, you know, I could really sit here and I can talk for an hour or so, podcast style, about Infinite Warfare and Treyarch. I mean, not Infinite Warfare, Infinity Ward and Treyarch Productions, and compare and contrast each. And maybe I will one day in the future. Maybe I will sit down and have a podcast episode where I explain and I go through all of these things and the differences between them and what I like and dislike about both. But this video is already touching 17 minutes. And I don't want to overextend it or, you know, bore you guys more. So I'm going to cut it off here. Give you some food for thought. And you can feel free to respond in the comment section and I'll respond back to you and we can have a whole open discussion of these certain things. But until next time, it's Chris Jones is signing out.